If you've had issues with wind buffeting on your Africa Twin around your helmet area, especially if you've got a peak on your helmet, like most ADV helmets do, you're probably looking at how to stop it. Some people sort theirs with going to higher screens, different shaped screens, lower screens, but a few people have worked out the area where the air comes up and hits the helmet is through here between the front of the tank and the bars. If you're riding along fast enough, there's a heap of air that comes out through this area. Good way to test that is if you're riding along, put your hand across here while you're riding and you'll feel it stop. So I had a bit of vibration issues on my helmet. I thought it was the bolts on the peak coming loose on the helmet and vibrating, but it wasn't. I did the test by putting my arm across here, buffeting stopped on the helmet, so can't just ride along with my arm in here, so I made this rubber piece here, which a couple of other people have made similar. You can buy a plastic one piece that goes in here, but I went the DIY route. It cost me about $10. So first thing I did was make a template out of cardboard. So this is my template. Looks like a bit of a Batman and a W symbol sort of thing. So worked out what I needed, a bit of clearance for the handlebars to turn as well, and then I used soft flexible rubber, because if I used reinforced rubber it would hit up against the handlebars. So this is an offcut of what I use, so it's pretty thin, really flexible. So took the two screws out, one on each side here, one there and one there on the other side as well, and yeah, this piece of rubber on. The piece of rubber I used was about 400 by 200 mil, and it's pretty thin. It's only like 2.5, 3 mil. So you'll also need some longer bolts and a couple of spacers. So I use these rubber grommets as spacers. They were cheap. They were right beside where I got this piece of rubber from, so they're about 5 mil thick. So you'll need 4 of them. You'll need some longer bolts. So you'll need 2 M6 by 20s and 2 M5s by 20s approximately. You can use a bit longer on these because these go all the way through. But on the ones on the tank, they're blind holes, so they'll go into the tank. So about 20 mil I think was the ones I used. See, and you'll need some washers as well. Luckily I had the bolts sitting around home, but I'll probably end up changing them out to some nice dome head ones, look a bit better. But if you can make it work with what you got at home, it's a lot cheaper. So what you did, use the template, work out what's going to work, transfer that onto the rubber, cut it out. Cut out little bits at a time. You can't add rubber back on once you've cut it, so see what worked, and then once you've got it on, make sure that you can still turn your bars without the rubber interfering, like stopping you turning. This touches a little bit, but because it's flexible, it pushes out of the way. And it looks like it's loose and useless, but when you're actually riding quick enough, this just pops out, like sort of fills up with air, and then stops all the buffeting coming up through there. And there's a bit of a gap here, so all the air sort of comes out there, away from there. Cost me about $10. Really effective for what I wanted. So I'll probably end up trimming a little bit more here, so it's not rubbing on the tank. So a little bit more fine tuning on this one, but you get the idea. So I used bolt, washer, push that through the rubber. And then I've got the little grommet spacer, put that on the underside, and then it's all screw into the hole, which is really hard to do one-handed. So very easy, very effective for me. Some people don't have the wind buffeting problem. I did. Might also stop some of the dust, because when I went on that ride a while ago now, this whole area is just full of dust, so it might stop some of that as well. So yeah, nice and flexible now. when you're doing 100k down the highway, that fills up with air, diverts out the side here instead of up into your helmet. So, works for me. You can try it, costs next to nothing. Good, cheap mod, do it yourself.